Greetings, traveler.
Let us get started on this review, guys. We have a Sliders game lined up. It's going to be a Beast, Dragon, Demon, Murloc, Pirate in a double major Time Warp lobby. So you have no minor Time Warp here. All right, we are playing ETC. I would expect a freeze here because on tier 2 we can hero power and use that spell. It's not an obvious freeze, and I've started doing it only because I saw tournament players do that. Now, I don't know if he's potentially trying to go 3-on-3. If you're trying to go 3-on-3, then you obviously don't want that spell. But this is like little thing where on turn 3, you're going to spend 5 gold or 6 if you sell your unit, but preferably you want to just hero power for 3 and have something in the shop for 2 gold. So if you have a tier 1 spell, you can freeze that. And normally you don't do that, because then your shop is bad and then you can buy the spell, but you have to buy a bad minion. But because on ETC you hero power, you don't need a good minion in the shop. It's not a consideration. So it's one of those things where like, oh yeah, I could actually freeze it. So after I saw some really high level players do that, I was like, oh yeah, we could do that. So he gets Scout, which is better because Scout gives him the choice of which 1-drop he wants, but he is going 3-on-3. So we kind of expected that after he didn't freeze the spell, whereas like he's probably looking to go 3-on-3. So I have still been hero powering on tier 2, and I've been pretty happy with that. There's definitely some decent hits like the Reno buddy, the Rafam buddy. You can still get that combo. If you start with the golden pirates, like the laureate the opponent has on the board, you can also find the Adora buddy, which is not bad. But Sliders wanting to go to 3 does get the 2-drops, but Rafam buddy is decent, so he's not unhappy with that. That actually used to be a tier 3 in a meta not too long ago. And then they implemented or re-implemented buddies as a mechanic, and then Rafam sucked, so they had to buff Rafam by moving the buddy down to tier 2, and they just haven't changed it back. So I would have just already bought the spell and the hooktail. So I'm curious as to what Sliders is thinking about. I guess he's thinking about buying the spell and rolling, and then using the spell to buy a different 3-drop. No. Oh, he's not even taking a damage here? Wow, really? With a hooktail on the board. We're not wanting to add a spell to our hand for 3 health. Fascinating. Okay. Yeah, perhaps I really need to reevaluate what I'm doing with that. Because Sliders is a very, very strong, good player. Yeah, he doesn't kill 2 things here. That is a bit unfortunate. That's also because the opponent went 3-on-3 and then has some extra stats, but fewer minions. That is a very good one. That is money. Money is almost always... Wow, we're not buying... What? Like, he values health so high. Like, here my brain is just like not computing. So he takes this, right? And the reason why this is so crazy to me, right? And again, I'm definitely not saying that it's wrong. I want to learn here, right? So he obviously values health like at an insanely high premium, because you just took a buddy which is going to copy a spell that you play. If you don't buy this damage coin, there is no guarantee that you're actually getting something that you can play and copy, right? Like you could hit a pointy arrow and then you're just like, ooh. Whereas at least if you take the coin, you're guaranteed 1 extra gold. So, wow. That's big. So he gets the evolve, so he gets away with it here. Man, that's a weird one, because we want to double evolve here, but we also don't really want to evolve our hooktail. I guess we could evolve in the shop. Humongous freeze. Next turn, get a 6-drop. Wow, I mean, it worked out, but I would be a little afraid that I would just brick on my spell. But I will reevaluate how I play that damage coin. Because that is quite telling. How he was just like, okay, no, I'm not buying that thing. All right, so no minor time warp this particular lobby. Fellbore with a Fellemental on board. Okay, he's not going to think about it. All right, well, we have Evoker, we have Hooktail. Is he going to buddy or just level? All right, we're buddying. Oh my god, wait, he can tier now. He can sell for coin, yeah. And I like coin tier. Wow, what a start. So turn 6, double Reliquary to farm spells, and then Evoker Hooktail. I mean, it worked out. That is a fantastic setup this early on. The opponent's like, oh, good. ETC bullshit. Wonderful. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted to face on turn 6. That is just unlucky for the opponent. It's like, well, I guess I wasn't using that 10 health anyway. Goodbye. ETC does do these things from time to time, and from time to time being quite frequently. So now Sliders is looking at, okay, which 4-drops are here. He has Poet for permanent. He has Scope. Scope is usually very good to copy. So checking for another Poet, I would imagine. Sure. Hero Power. Usually, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, usually it's just the Pyramid Buddy, but Alakir Buddy gives him permanent shields here. Oh, he's gonna sell that to roll. That's interesting. I thought we were just gonna be strong enough and that we can just level, but I guess he also has the shield in his hand from the Amber, so he's gonna sell Hooktail for a spell here. Yeah. Okay, so he's gonna hold the Alakir Buddy. It does give Divine Shield Wind Fury, but he already has a shield, and the shield will only go on dragons, so this will give him a perma shield. Wow. That is not a board, even for turn 7, right? Did he go to 5 or something to get away? Oh, minus 10, down to 15 on turn 7. Monka S. Monka S, chat. Okay, yeah. Well, Mythrax would be good if it was a dragon lobby and we could get Poet. Oh wait, there's a Poet on our board already. Mythrax is just disgustingly good right now. So essentially what will happen is Mythrax will copy the Mythrax will copy the stats of 3 types on board. So it's a bit random, but then the Poet will make that stat gain permanent. He also took the Pirate for money, which is great. It adds economy to a situation where he's already strong. Usually Zarek. Yep. He's checking if there is like crazy buddies to steal before he commits to the Zarek. But, I mean, he gets Tathalon, but meh. He's gonna take it? Just for money? Okay, okay. Well, I mean, I guess it's +1 gold, but... because he already fought the Tathalon. He's not gonna hit the Tathalon again now. If he doesn't play the Thelwater, I would really not be happy that we didn't take Zarek, though. Okay, he's gonna play it instead of... but we sell a Reliquary for that. Is that really good enough? Okay, so what can he steal before I look at it? Oh, Ticketus Buddy. Yeah, just hitting Ticketus Buddy does kind of randomly put you in a great spot. Okay, that is fair. That is sort of your jackpot. And I have not paid enough attention to when he fought Ticketus before. But seeing as Ticketus is still full health, we probably haven't fought him in a while, or not at all yet. So that is a heads up play here. Paying attention to exactly what he could get. Also who he has fought before. We are not even deploying the Mythrax yet. So he's essentially saying, I don't have enough stats yet to make it worth it. I'm just going to milk a little bit. Get some stats from the Pirates. That's cool to see. I'm not sure if I would have had the restraint to not drop the Mythrax. Immortal is stupid good. Oh my god. He also has the dragon, so that elemental dragon remembers the stats from things you've sold, and then Poet makes it permanent. So it's like Mutinous on a stick. Like everything he sells now is basically Mutinous. As long as he puts that elemental dragon next to the Poet. He can steal from the opponents. Yeah, that's good. He's fighting Ticketus here. So he has his Ticketus Buddy. He can make a golden one. The left one is Golden Touch. The other one is Permanent Divine Shield, which is okay, but he's got dragons. He can already shield. Another Mythrax. Oh, he's gonna golden it. Okay. He also has the Timewarped Scout in the shop, which can give like another bit of a wild card thing. But this is so unbelievable. Kodo. Okay, well, no. I was gonna say, well, maybe like Sliders is like, just sell that sell that garbage, get that out of here, sell that right now. What are you doing? Get out of here. So the dragon is also an elemental, with, you know, like the elemental parts. This makes sense because elementals avalanche and stuff. So he can just sell his big units, and then the dragon elemental will keep that stats as long as he puts it next to Poet, which he intends to do. Golden Poet doubles the stats. That's silly. He might sell Evoker and just say, I don't need to milk anymore. Alright, but he's not gonna shield. That's fair. Okay, gets rewarded. Golden Evoker still pumps the stats, but he has Immortal, so he's kind of done now. It's just positioning is gonna be a little bit awkward. He needs to put Immortal next to Mythrax, in front of Mythrax. Actually, you don't care about keeping the stats. Oh, he's gonna do that this turn. Is that worth? Yeah, well... is that more stats? It might not be more stats, because... No, the Mythrax doubles it, right? But I guess now it steals stats from the mech and the alley, so it probably works. It's about the same, I think. It's about the same. Because this way, the Mythrax gets to take the stats from the Immortal and the Dragon. Oh, but the Dragon procs second. No, I think actually, if he just puts Immortal next to Mythrax and Poet behind Mythrax, it's just straight better. And he doesn't care about permanent stats on the Elemental and the Dragon. Hey, Bogey, thank you for the Prime. But yeah, I mean, this is obviously like just obscene, right? This is the best and the earliest Mythrax comp I've ever seen. Also, he's not doing this in the Time Warp Anomaly, so other people aren't doing this, right? Normally, when you see this, it's in the Time Warp Anomaly. In the Time Warp Anomaly, people can just buy Mythrax and Immortal from the shop. But because it's double greater Time Warp, and he also is ETC and he stole from the opponent's boards, he has Golden Mythrax, Golden Poet, which I guess is ×4 then, right? Absolutely disgusting. Yeah, you gotta put Immortal next to Mythrax. Yeah, you don't make the stats permanent on the Elemental Dragon for sure. Zippers cannot stay on the board, I think. We have an Elemental, we have a... I mean, honestly, you could keep Zippers and sell that Elemental Mech Dragon, or that Elemental Dragon. I don't think it's gonna matter that much, but it... I guess a little bit of stats at the beginning of your snowball ends up being a lot of stats. So, he doesn't need to keep the 450 because the Mythrax is already 2.7, but it does add to the Immortal, which means it also adds to the Mythrax, and it also adds to Mythrax in general, so it's worth it. He's already buying Surf and Surf in case his hero power finds him the N'Zoth buddy, if you're wondering, yeah. Or he just wants to tiebreak later on, but because he's ETC, it's probably because of the N'Zoth buddy. So the reason why he can't keep the Zippers is the Mythrax only takes 3 types. So it's going to take from a Dragon, which is a small minion, but it doesn't matter because we have Poet. We have to have a Dragon on the board. It's going to take from the Elemental Dragon, and it's going to take from the Immortal. So we have to make sure that we only ever run 3 different types so that it always steals the stats from the mech. That is very important because the Immortal is what copies the Mythrax, and the Mythrax is the biggest minion on the board. So if it doesn't make the Immortals, if it doesn't take the Immortal stats, it's going to scale. It's basically not going to scale. Murlocs aren't even in this lobby, are they? No, Murlocs are in. Okay, so I got to be a little bit afraid of Scam, I guess. But, I mean, this is just obscene amounts of scaling. Really important. He won Stat War already. Yeah. At this point, you're not playing for stats. You're playing for the YouTube thumbnail, right? You're trying to get as many stats as possible. This is how it's done. Mythrax is a type. Yes, but it won't steal from Mythrax. Because that is, like, stupid, right? Because then the Mythrax will take the stats from the Mythrax. But it's why the Immortal is so dumb. The Immortal gives him stats from the Mythrax. Because the Immortal is the Mythrax. Like, this is why it's exponential scaling, right? It's better. Like, it's ×4 or some shit. Okay, he gets Reborn here to play around Scam. Then he gets to play a neutral minion. Yeah, neutral minions are quite valuable. Ooh, huge scaling there. Can you hover over Immortal? I cannot. This is a video. But Immortal essentially copies the stats from the adjacent minions. So at the start of the combat, the Immortal is going to take the stats that the Mythrax has. And then afterwards, the Mythrax is going to double it because it is a golden minion. And then it's going to double it again because it's next to a golden poet. So the stats of the Mythrax are going ×4 every fight. So he's not even ×2 ×2. It's like ×4 ×4 ×4 ×4. which, as you can see, is getting to be a stupid big number very quickly. Rhino opens up bullshit, but there's already enough bullshit on the board, so... If there's any, like, downside of this position, it's like, oh, what do I even spend my gold on? What do I even spend my gold on? I could have had Rhino Drakari, but whatever. Anti-scam, I guess, right? Like... Yeah? Mutinous doesn't really do anything. The only thing you can Mutinous is your Mythrax, right? And you don't care. I mean, you're a Dragon Mech. But at this point, the stats are negligible, right? The stats of that 400 is just purely negligible. I guess build a new Zhao is sort of the usual play. Maybe bank new hero powers. He's looking for a 3-drop. Another Scarab? To reborn the other one? I don't know. Just bio break at this point? No, I mean, this is scammable, right? This is very scammable. He has 3 units on his board in the Murloc lobby. Because the Evoker is not a unit, the Elemental Dragon is not a unit, the Poet is not a unit. So, it's the Immortal and the 2 Mythraxes. He's playing an Undead. He cannot, right? Does he see it? Okay, he sees it, okay. He's like, ooh, okay, gotta sell that. Yeah, he cannot add a type without selling that Elemental Dragon. Pivot into Stun Drake. He has no money. You can't really pivot if you don't have money. Stun Drake is not a problem. Like, we have infinite stats. We will not run out of stats. It's only a problem if somebody realizes what we are doing and just starts playing Poison Murlocs with Leroy. $100k, $100k, you can add a type. No! Then you don't get your ×4. Again, we are playing for YouTube at this point, right? If you don't care, then yeah, but he can make the number bigger, chat. Come on now. Oh, he wants the Dragon Divine Shield to permanently shield. That plays around scam. Yes, he wants Amber. Actually, good call. Because he was very conflicted early on. Ooh, that doesn't work. This used to work, by the way. Reno Buddy with Poet would be permanent golden. So he could get another golden Mythrax if it was on the old patch. But a couple patches ago, and with a couple patches ago, I mean like a year or 2 ago, they changed it so that it no longer works. Okay, he found the Amber. Okay, now he can play the Amber and sell the Elemental Dragon. He could end on money. I mean, he's so strong, sure. Cap is even on, so yeah. So now we can sell the 450, play the Amber, so that the only 2 dragons on the board are the Mythraxes. Well, the only 2 that aren't shielded yet are the Mythraxes. And then he can end on the Pirate to get a little bit of extra gold for next turn, but I don't know. What do you need? What do you need more money for, really? Anti-scam, I guess, right? Yeah, your own base skill? Your own base skill. Yeah, that's probably fair. I would probably be looking for my own base skill then. Yeah, okay. I'm always looking in the game like, okay, what's my next move? What's my goal? And again, having this poison. Okay, so this is the guy. This is our problem. He has Blaster too. We have 13% to lose. Okay. Yeah, this is why you don't just AFK, right? It's so often that chat is just like, oh, just AFK, bro, right? He is gonna win, so chat is right. What am I saying? Why, man? All this time, all this effort we wasted, we could have AFK'd. But yeah, that's his thing that he's trying to play around. So I would guess just get more anti-scam, which is base skill. New Zhao. But the new Zhao would have to be a little buffed somehow. He's not buying base skill. Okay. I guess he doesn't care. Oh, he can make perma venoms with that. So is 250 or what is this? Or 2 million? Is it already at 2 million? He can make his 2 million guy. He can make it venomous. Just in case it's not strong enough. All right, so we are going to bank the Murloc. Again, not much matters here if we're being real. Other than, oh, if my opponent has poisons. So that's why I thought base skill would be a decent pickup. But it doesn't really matter, right? We've killed the guy that was probably the best scam board already. Can't he sell Evoker? Oh, yeah, he can. He just doesn't want to add an extra type. He can sell the pirate if he wants a board slot too. Would have thought base skill would be decent. Yes, yes. But the thing is, like, it doesn't really matter. It's only if we were trying to think of something that matters, it will be getting base skill and news out to anti-scam. The reason why he has Evoker on the board is because it's a dragon. He can add as many dragons on the board as he wants because he has to play Poet. And as long as he has to play Poet, he has to play a dragon, right? So the problem with Mythrax is... Okay, there's a base. The problem with Mythrax is that when you add more types, it might miss the Immortal. So he can only ever have 3 types if he wants to keep scaling. Because if the Immortal does not get copied by the Mythrax, it will not go ×4. It only goes ×4 if it copies Immortal. So this is the whole point as to why he can keep as many dragons as he wants, but he can't add a bunch of other types. I mean, again, he can do whatever he wants. He can do whatever he wants. We're assuming that he just wants to keep scaling for YouTube, which, to be honest, is the reason I'm watching this video. So well played, Slyders, well played. I saw the title of the video. The title of the video was 100... Oh, wait, he's doing stuff. The title of the video was 150 million stats. I was like, all right, I gotta watch that. I want to see how he got 150 million, and I see now. You just gotta hit like the ultimate nuts on the time warps and your ETC hero power. Okay, we're down to 5 units. Wait, is he playing for the time warp? But you need 6 for time warp. Or does he have types? He can play Murloc, right? But I think that... Okay, and this is obviously hard to know, but I think that he's playing for the steel card, but you need 6 for the steel card, as far as I'm aware. You need more than 5. But the wording was weird. Instead of just saying you need 6 or more, they said more than 5. Which, it means the same thing, but it's easier to... It's easy to interpret that as like, oh, you know, just get 5 or something. 5 or more, so like I don't know exactly what it was. It wasn't 5 or more. Yeah. Anyways, blah 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 blah. This is all like very, very minor optimizations. GG. That is an obnoxious amount of stats gained by Slyders here. 150 million.